Hello, Team Evolution. I prefer to call it taking the bloody brakes off. And quite often it explains the imbalance. But the clever thing is it's all on one piece of paper, thanks to my pal Shiva Krami, who inspired the idea. So I've put these stages of a business on, but you tailor it, make it right for you. So starting off a tactical business, becomes strategic, then becomes visionary. You could put turnover in, anything you want. And then underneath, what does that actually mean to your business? At the end, I'll give you a blank so you can tailor it for you. And then, down the left-hand side, what are the main roles? Under each box, what does that mean at strategic level? How does that change at visionary level? And you end up with that matrix that says, this is how the team needs to grow, all on one piece of paper. Clever, eh? So it is the big picture. It takes very complex organizational issue and it simplifies it so you can actually use it. But it's only a template which you do need to tailor. Do you like those headings, tactical, strategic, visionary, or what would you do? Having done that, what you're then doing is saying, what's the risk as people move, for instance? So will your current person leading finance make the jump to finance director at strategic stage? Within the existing template, who or what is holding us back? Now, number 4, really, really important, especially if you've got ex-owners floating about who want to carry on doing some of the basic things. It's up to them. It's their business. But at least when they're looking at this, they'll say, well, I'm doing this, I'm not doing what I should be as chair or as managing director at that next level. And then a whole plethora of advantages that comes from this helicopter view. How do we develop people? Where are the weak links? Who needs coaching? Where do we have to make hard decisions? And what about succession planning? And loads more. Because it's simple, it frees you up to do that helicopter view. Okay, I'm going to give you my examples. So the chair, I've not put anything under tactical because perhaps all that happens there is share ownership. But at strategic level, the chairperson, well, the coach, strategy, they represent the business. At visionary level, they're looking at alliances, perspective, and future-proofing the business. Just my view. Managing director, sell, etc. Strategic, more steering, delegating, motivating, and obviously strategy coming in. They're the coach for the board, or using them, and to some extent they be the personality of the organisation. Finance. Cash, budgets, funding, moves to management accounts, trends and reviews. That's strategic level. Right. A number of occasions I've been into organisations and I said to the finance people, look, you're demanding all this information from operations. What are you giving them? A key role at strategic level is to give them the information to make better operational decisions, not corporate bottom line ones necessarily. And at visionary level, well, you've got funding, acquisition, getting shut. Operations, very much driven by whatever type of business you're in. So a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of doing it better at strategic, implementing change, often with an organisation that's a bit change phobic. Especially if you believe that if it isn't broken, you haven't looked hard enough. And visionary, getting the flow right, perhaps introducing just in time. Where does outsourcing fit? Big operational decisions. Marketing. Okay, the bottom level, it's the media, it's the target. E equals P is mine for the effort must be ruthlessly in line with potential. Yeah, not just because everybody else is doing it, or it's the flavour of the month. Are we really good at putting ourselves in our clients' shoes? At strategic level, excellent market research, particularly looking at things like how we penetrate new markets, new sectors, difficult target accounts, and how we displace competition. And visionary, well, saying, well, we're doing really well, we're doing 6% on last year. No, like the Japanese were saying, what's market share? And how do we become known as number one, even if perhaps in fact, in numbered terms, we're not, but people think we are. HR. Now, a bit of a bias here, because I came from an age where HR was very often the place failed directors were put to die. Yeah? And they were great at holding things back, holding a grudge, and had chips on both shoulders, I remember, in a couple of cases. So at the bottom level, you've got, yeah, we've got the books right, all the rest of it. I refuse to write in there the word compliance because I just saw too many people hiding behind it. Performance review and also strategic, can I suggest promotables? Yeah, so you, from all levels in the organisation, you've got a gang of promotables. My view often is to turn them into a Praetorian Guard for the managing director and cutting across the silos. Visionary, right? Where's the succession? And are we really managing and recruiting talent? Sales, again, very dependent upon the sector or your organisation, but it's going to be targeted. It's going to be a mix. Now, that mix might be what sectors do we want to be in, or it might be what's the, it will be as well, what's the mix between nurturing big clients and growing them and getting new ones. And again, I find a common mistake is not to give margin responsibility low enough, which means that people can be working really hard without understanding the big picture. In one case, a couple of years ago, it went 6 months before it was identified that one particular group of salespeople were effectively selling at a loss when you looked at margin in a joined-up way. Strategic, what are the sectors we're going after? Really professional major accounts activity. So we're the first choice. How do you know you're the first choice? Well, if you're getting business without having to bid for it, and you're just being asked to do it, not join beauty parades, hey, you're the first choice. And top line there, at least part of the organisation is doing a consultancy sell. Now, that's a bit of a brain dump. I hope it's useful for ideas and showing how things change as they move. You will want to change it and you'll want to tailor it. So here's the blank form. Get tactical, strategic, visionary into what you want and what does that mean. And then at each of the levels, what are the jobs? How does it change? Where's the crossover? I say get it on one piece of paper. You do need to get it on one piece of paper. And if you're saying we can't squeeze it all in the box, have a look at what's in that box. Okay, that's it. Give it a kicky. Have fun. And let me tell you a story. One organisation who would put this in, they had this concept in for about 4 months. And they had somebody coming in trade. It wasn't a trade sale, but it was perhaps the preliminary to a trade sale. And they came in, showing them all the documents. And this was the document that really blew them away. They said, brilliant. Not only are you already thinking the right way about where the business needs to go, but what a document for us to help you with and to help move it and to look at resources between the two organisations. That'll do for me.